buy the convertible bond, putable bond, right? Now the last one is the convertible bond, right? Convertible bond. Am I right? We haven't talked about the convertible bond, right? Captain Cola, sorry, Captain Quarter, Forest Quarter. The idea is you have to construct the interest rate tree and then try to estimate expected cash flow in each node. This is how you track with appropriate discounting. Okay, that is the key. Okay, another thing is, when I was setting up some student, your friend also want to know when the result of the quiz will be announced next week. Normally, how do you get the result? How do you check the result? Blackboard, right? Okay, the same blackboard. Because some of you may not want your friend to know your result, right? So that might be the good way to announce in the blackboard. So you just know your score, but you do not know others. Okay, the last one, convertible bond. You remember convertible bond, okay, from the first lecture. Convertible bond is the bond that provides the right for the bondholder to convert from as a bondholder to be the equity holder, right? So in this case, convertible bond, okay, it's just like that is two security combined in one. Okay, these two security consist of the straight bond, okay, the straight bond, plus what? Plus the call option. However, this call option is the call option for the bondholder. Still remember the call option, right? Call option is the option that provides the right, okay, for the option holder to buy the underlying asset. In case of callable bond, this call option is belong to the bond issuer, not the bond holder. So callable bond provides the right for the bond issuer to buy back the bond. So the bond is the underlying asset for the callable bond. But for the convertible bond, it's not. This call option is belong to the bond holder. The bond holder can have the option to buy the stock. So the underlying asset for the convertible bond is not bond, but it's the stock of the issuer, okay? The company that issued the bond. The bondholder can buy the stock at some certain price, So this is a call option on the stock, issuer stock, different. And this is not belong to the bond issuer, but it belongs to the bond owner. Okay, so basically, when investor buy convertible bond, they buy straight bond plus the call option. Okay, not the same as the callable bond. Actually, for the callable bond, the bond holder buy the straight bond and sell the call option to the bond holder. The bond issuer, different. Okay, but for the convertible bond, actually, bondholder buy the straight bond plus the call option on the stock of the company, okay, the company that issued this bond. Okay, there are some technical terms. The price that the bond holder can buy the stock is called the conversion price. So this is actually is the exercise price. Okay, the exercise price. This is the price that bondholder can buy the stock, okay, issuer stock. And also in this convertible bond, it also provides the period that the bondholder can exercise or convert from the stock into convert the bond into the stock. And this period is the conversion period. It's called the conversion period. We'll talk a bit more about this, okay, for the conversion period. Okay, so basically, at first, when you buy this convertible bond, you pay for this bond, okay, and also pay for the premium, pay for the call option too. When the time pass, okay, when you allow to convert, you make decision whether you still want to buy this, still to keep this bond, or you want to convert into the stock. So when you convert into the stock, it means that you're not the bondholder anymore. You become the stockholder. Okay, you become the stockholder. And the return, you no longer to receive the coupon anymore when you convert into the stock. This is an option, so you have the option. You can choose whether you want to be the bondholder or you want to convert into the stockholder. Okay, and the period that we can make decision is during this period, the conversion period. Also in the bond prospectus also have to provide the information about this. Give some more detail about when the bondholder can convert, okay, the bond into the stock. Okay, normally for most of the convertible bond, it will be the first one. It will be the first one. The bond issuer provide a period, okay, the conversion period that allow the bondholder to convert into the stock. Okay, this is called unprotected call. However, for some convertible bond may specify the condition that allow the bondholder to convert into the stock. As you can see in this bullet, okay, the bond issuer may specify the condition like this: the average or the price for some single day exceeds some certain level, then it will be allowed the bondholder to convert into the stock. Okay, so this is the condition to allow the bondholder to convert into the stock. And if the convertible bond, okay, set the requirement for this case, it will be called the protected call. Okay, the protected call. Alright. So there is two types of the convertible bond. How to set the conversion, okay, condition. Here is the example of the convertible bond. Not sure you can read this. Let me just magnify first to discuss a bit more detail about the bond feature. Okay, this is a convertible bond. The issuer is WMU, is the company in UK, I think, but I'm not sure about the detail of this company. Anyway, this bond, okay, has the principal, okay, in total is 100 million pounds, okay, 100 million pounds. The coupon rate is 4.5% coupon rate per year, okay, and this bond provide both the call option for the bondholder, the call option for the issuer, different call option because the underlying asset is different, as I mentioned, right? Callable on the first, okay, the term callable for the first one is the issuer can call back the bond, can redeem the bond before the maturity. So this is the call option on bond, call option on bond. Okay, the underlying asset is bond. The issuer can buy back the bond at some certain price called call price. Okay, convertible, this provide the option to the call option to the bond holder to convert the bond into the stock. Okay, two options. Okay, one option for the issuer, one option for the bond holder. Okay, and this bond would be mature on the 3rd of April 2014. So this is the issue date is the 3rd of April 2012. So it's 5-year bond. Okay, 5-year bond. And this bond is senior unsecured subordinated bond. Senior means has the priority to receive the cash flow, to receive the interest, the principal before the sub-debt bond. Okay. But for the unsecured, it means that there is no collateral back up this bond issue. Okay. Everyone has the same. I mean, for the unsecured uh, unsecured borrower, unsecured lender, it means that for this type of lender, they would share the same, asset. They have the same priority to receive the cash flow in case of the bankruptcy. Okay, so in case of the bankruptcy, then we have to look at the detail who's gonna get the priority to receive the cash flow first. For the secured bond, it means that this bond provides specific asset to back up this bond issue. In the case of bankruptcy, the bondholder can ask the court to sell this asset to pay back the bondholder, specific asset. Okay, if you remember when CBO took over macro at that time, CBO issued a lot of the bond. I think the size of issue is about 50,000 million to took over because they use a lot of money right at that time. So not sure because the size is so big, the size of issue is so big. How to make sure that this issue would get attention from the investor. So eventually they decided to provide the collateral. Remember the macro stock as a collateral for the CBO bond issue at that time. Okay, so for this one is unsecured, no collateral. Unsubordinated, it's not subordinated, no, they have the priority to receive the cash flow equal to other lender. Okay, the coupon 4.5, nominal value of the par is 100,000 pounds per unit, and the coupon pay annually. Okay, pay annually. Okay, the first payment will be next year, the 3rd of 2013. Conversion period, you can see that since the bond is issued on 2012, okay, the bondholder allowed to convert into the stock 1 year later, right? Oh, sorry, actually they can convert any time. Just 1 month after the issue. The 3rd of April is the issue date, right? The 3rd of April is the issue date. And then 1 month later, this bond can be converted into the stock. Okay, and what is the conversion price or the exercise price? This is the exercise price, the price that the bondholder can buy the stock. Okay, so the exercise price or conversion price is £6 per share. The reason that they have to put the initial, okay, because sometimes the stock maybe have some corporate event like the stock split and then the stock price decrease, so we have to adjust the conversion price if there is any corporate event like the stock split. Okay, so for this case, they set the initial conversion at £6. Okay, right now if the current stock price, I'm not sure, the current stock price here, 4.58 pounds per share. Okay, so basically this bond set the conversion price slightly above the current stock price. This is the current stock price. I mean the price that the bond issue is 4.58 pounds per share. But the conversion price is £6 per share. Okay? So after issue date, suppose the stock has any corporate event as I mentioned. Okay, stock split. Okay, one share become 2 shares. Okay, then there would be the conversion price adjustment from 6 to 3, for example. The conversion ratio, this is because we know the conversion price, so we can estimate or we can calculate the conversion ratio. Okay, because the principal, the par value is 100,000 pounds per share, so it's just simply 100,000 divided by 6, the conversion price. You get number of shares equal to this. Okay, per 1 unit or per 1 par value of 100,000. Okay, for the par of the convertible bond with the conversion price £6. This is the number of units, number of share stock, number of shares that you will receive if you convert from the convertible bond into the stock. And you can see that at the issue date, it's not a good idea, right, to convert into the stock, but you have the option. This option lasts for 5 years, almost 5 years. It's just 1 month before the maturity. But because this bond will be mature on the 3rd of April 2017. You have the option to convert at £6. And that would be a good idea if the stock price, WMU stock price increase more than 6, right? You may think about convert the bond into the stock, right? Okay, the threshold dividend, this is the maximum dividend can be paid by the firm. Why we have to adjust, why we have to set this threshold dividend? Anyone who trades in the stock, you may know that when there is the dividend payment, the stock price decrease. If there is any other event to affect the stock price, the stock price would decrease equal to the dividend payment. So, however, when you hold a convertible bond, you don't have any benefit of this. Actually, you have, disadvantage. You get some disadvantage of this because the stock price lower, and that would increase the chance that you may not be able to exercise or convert into the stock. Okay. So if the firm does pay the dividend more than this, there might be the conversion price, the conversion adjustment, the adjustment for the conversion price. Change of control. In case that the firm has some, change of control, the firm, for example, the firm is taken over or is merged with another. In this case, okay, this convertible bond would provide the option for the bondholder to convert the bond into the stock before these corporate events, like the merger and acquisition, and also provide some more incentive or benefit by reducing the conversion price from 6 to 4. Okay, would occur only for some specific, okay, merger and acquisition event that would be specified in the prospectus. So this is the detail about the convertible bond, and here is the detail about the call provision for the bond issuer. Okay, the bond issuer can buy back the bond at some certain price called call price. Here is the call price. Okay, if the bond is redeemed before the maturity by the issuer, the call price would be equal to 110% of the par. Okay. If the bond is called after 2 years of the bond issuance, okay. If the bond is called or redeemed at 3rd year or the 3rd year after the bond issue, the call price will be only 105%, and then reduced to 103%. This would be on the 4th year. Okay. Actually, the bond maturity would be 1 year before 1 year, right? The bond maturity at this point at this point would be only 1 year. Okay. Here is the information of this bond. Any question on this? And then suppose that if we observe the information of this bond price and also the stock price. Any question?
Ajahn, just to clarify, so for the issuer call price, what is the basis of the call price? Because they didn't specify a certain price. So will it be based on the current market price?
I can't catch what you are saying. You are saying about this the call price here?
Yeah. So
basically, they have to compensate with, as we have discussed, right? What your question is how to set this call price?
No. I'm saying what is the basis? You said it's if the issue the call on the second year.
Sorry.
If they issue the call in the second year, the rate will be 110%.
Yes.
Right? So
why it must be higher than 100%? That's your question.
Yeah. No. I'm saying the 100%, will that be based on
The par, par value.
the par, yeah, not
the par 100,000 pounds per unit, right? And the call price would be 110,000 pounds. That is the call price. And we have discussed, right, because of there is the opportunity cost for the bondholder because the bond will be redeemed when the market interest rate declines. So when the bondholder has been, the bond is redeemed by the issuer, then the bondholder has to reinvest in the market with the lower coupon rate. So in order to compensate with this, okay, opportunity cost, the issuer pay a bit higher than the par value. Okay, if you remember the graph, the bond price yield relationship of the straight bond and like this, right? And then we talk that for the callable bond maybe like this. Okay, they do not follow the straight bond or option free bond price yield relationship, but the bond price would converge to this call price. Okay, for the first year, after the first year, the second year, the bond price for the callable bond might be converted to 110,000 pounds. Okay, and then for the second year, okay, it depends on the market, market interest rate, whether it's low or high. Okay. Any questions? Remember this graph, right? Go back to look at I think this lecture, but on the beginning, right? Or maybe last lecture, I can't remember. Okay, any question? Here is the market information 1 year later, okay, 1 year after the bond issue. You can see that we observe the convertible bond price on the 4th of April 2013, about 1 year after, right? You can see that the convertible bond price increased greater than the par, 120,000. Okay, 120,000. The par, the price that we buy when the bond is issued is 100,000. So what is that? Why is that? It's maybe because of the market interest rate decline, also increase the value of the bond price. But this reason may be a bit, unlikely. That will be the major reason, the main reason. Why? Because if the market interest rate declines, for the straight bond, it's true that the value of the bond should increase when the market interest rate declines. But because of this one, is a callable bond too. Even though it's not the time that still in the lockout period, right? It's still in the lockout period because this is only 1 year after the bond issue. However, the end of the lockout period is 2 years, right? The second anniversary of the issuance. So the bond can be redeemed by the issuer after 2 years. But this information we observe just 1 year after. Okay. So the bond price is higher than the par, maybe because of the market interest rate decrease. However, one more reason that, and maybe is the main reason is because of the share price. You can see that the share price increased from 4.58 at the time the bond is issued. The bond price, the stock price 1 year later is 6.23. And because you can see that it is at this time, the value of the option increase because you can, use this option to convert into the stock, right? Convert into the stock. Because actually the conversion price is 6. This is your cost, right? You can convert the bond into the stock at 6 pounds per share. This is your cost. However, right now the market price of the stock is 6.23. So actually you can buy this stock slightly cheaper than the market price, 6.23. Okay, dividend per share is 0.16, still lower than the threshold, 0.3. Share price volatility, okay, the share price volatility is 25%. In order to estimate this, I already mentioned, right, you can observe the daily price return and then estimate the standard deviation, convert the daily standard deviation into the annual standard deviation. Okay, now we will talk about what is the minimum, okay, value of this convertible bond. Because this convertible bond is the sum of the straight bond, the value of the straight bond, plus the value of the option, okay, because the convertible bond, they have the straight bond plus the option to convert into the stock. So value of this convertible bond should be greater than value of the straight bond, okay. In the worst case, okay, the value of the option is 0. So value of our convertible bond should be equal to the straight bond. However, when the value of the option is not 0, okay, so the minimum value of our convertible bond should be equal to the conversion value. So we will look at the minimum value of convertible bond at the time when the bond is issued and also 1 year later. Okay. Here we estimate the conversion value. Okay. You know that the conversion price is £6 per share. You get number of share equal to this. So the conversion value, here is your number of share that you receive, right? Here is number of share that you receive, but because you receive this number of share based on the cost of £6 per share. However, the market price is only 4.58. Okay, so the conversion value actually is much lower than the par. It's not a good idea. Okay, however, when we look at the conversion value 1 year later, value of the stock is 6.23, and this is the number of shares that the bondholder will receive. So you can see that the conversion value increased to 100,003, right? 103,000. What about value of the straight bond? Of course, at the time of the bond issue, this bond price, the straight bond, value of this straight bond should be equal to the par, 100,000, right? What is the value of the straight bond 1 year later? Suppose that this is a given information. Suppose that the average yield to maturity for this 4 years is equal to 2.5%. Because this bond actually at the time that the bond is issued is 5-year bond. However, we observe the price. Suppose we want to estimate the price of this bond 1 year later. So this bond becomes 4-year bond. And this bond pay the coupon 4.5%, right? Per 100,000 of par. So the coupon is, this is come from 4.5% coupon rate multiplied by the par 100,000. And because this bond become 4-year bond, so we will receive the coupon for the next 4 years plus the face value 100,000. Okay, and this is a given information. The yield to maturity is 2.5%, average return 2.5%. So you estimate the value of the straight bond. Value of the straight bond on the 4th of April 2030, 1 year after the bond issuance. So right now, you know the conversion value, okay, at time 0, the issue date, and also the conversion value 1 year later. Also, you know the value of the straight bond, okay, on both date. So the value of the minimum value of the bond, you can see that the minimum value of the bond, it should be for the at the time zero, okay, at the issue date. It should be the maximum between the conversion value, okay, 76,000, the conversion value, and the straight bond, 100,000. So the minimum value should be 100,000, right? At time zero, the issuance date. 1 year later, okay, what would be the minimum value of this bond? It should be the maximum value between the conversion value that we have seen in the previous slide and value of the straight bond. Okay. So you can see that the bond increased partly because of the market interest rate increase. This is the value of the straight bond. But this bond much higher than value of the straight bond. But this is the minimum value. The value of this bond, this convertible bond should not be lower than this minimum value. Otherwise, we can make more profit, make more return. We call abnormal return. You learn from theory one, right? The meaning of the abnormal return. Abnormal is extra return we receive. So in this case, the minimum value should be this, but if you can buy the bond lower than this, then you get more or abnormal return. Anyway, the market price of the bond is actually much higher, right? 127,000, higher than the minimum value. The reason is value of the call, okay, on the stock. As you can see that right now, value of the stock is higher than the exercise price, the conversion price. Okay, so investor pay for the option. That's why this convertible bond is higher than the par. Any question on this? Any question? Because when the stock price is much lower than the conversion price, the opportunity or the chance that we will use this option is low. Value of the option also low. But right now you can see that value of the stock is higher than the conversion price. So possibility or the chance or the probability of convert the bond into the stock is higher. Value of the option is higher. That's why value of the convertible bond is much higher than the minimum value, higher than the straight bond value. Okay. We are not talking about this is fair price or not because you haven't learned in detail about how to price the option for this kind of the option. Actually, we can use the binomial one, or you can use the actual to estimate this. But we have to adjust a little. For the backshot, we cannot use the original backshot formula because backshot is just for the European, but this one actually they can exercise any time. So basically, after 1 month, actually, this convertible bond holder can convert into the stock any time. So this is a kind of American option. So backshot may not, be applicable to price this convertible bond. As I mentioned, okay, that value of the convertible bond is just a sum. Bondholder pay for the straight bond plus pay for the option on the stock. Okay, this is value of the convertible bond. So in order to come up with the fair price of convertible bond, you can estimate value of the straight bond, right? However, in order to estimate value of this call option on the stock, it's quite hard actually. We have to adjust the backshot model, or we can also We can also use the binomial one. However, for the binomial, it's more than what we learned because this is American, not the European. So we have to check each node whether it will be exercise or not. You're gonna learn next term how to price the American option. Okay, suppose in our case, it's not only the convertible bond, but it's also callable convertible bond. So value of the callable convertible bond, it will be the sum of straight bond plus value of the call on the stock minus call on the bond. Okay, let me repeat. Value of callable bond, convertible bond, okay, like WMU, right? This bond provide the option for the bond issuer to buy back the bond. So the bondholder actually sell or write this option to the bond issuer. That's why we don't get money from the bond issuer, so we subtract this because actually the bondholder write this or sell this option on bond to the bond issuer. But the bondholder get the bond, the straight bond plus the option on the stock convertible. Okay, so this is the value of the callable convertible bond. For the last one, value of callable, puttable, convertible. 3 options. It will be equal to the value of the straight bond plus, because this puttable bond, the put option is belong to the bond holder. They can sell back the bond. So you have to understand that this option, what is the underlying asset? What is the underlying asset, right? This callable bond and puttable bond, the underlying asset of these 2 options are bond. For the callable, this is for the bond issuer, they can buy back the bond. For the puttable or put provision, this is for the bond holder. They can sell back the bond to the bond issuer. But for this one, this is the option on the stock, the convertible. Okay. Because this put provision is for the bond holder, so they have to pay for the bond issuer. Any question on this? You still discussing?
If we go back to the page 47.
47.
In this case, on the 4th April, should we, if we are the bondholder, should we exercise?
We should not exercise.
Because
The market price of convertible bond is higher. If you convert into the stock, what you get? Only this. Right? If you convert into the stock, you get this. But if you sell the convertible bond, you get 127. So it depends on what do you think about the future stock price? Depends on what do you think about future stock price. If the future stock price increase, you expect that the stock price increase, what's gonna do? Convert or not? We should not convert, we just hold a convertible bond. This is maybe a bit more detailed, In detail, in the derivative course, we will talk about when you hold the American option, do you should the investor exercise the American option, or actually we just simply sell the American option?
ราคาตลาด107คือบอลราคาลงราคาบอลแต่ราคาmarket value
One more, explanation for your question would be this graph. Okay, it depends on the price of the stock too. This graph, okay, provide two lines. The dashed one is the convertible bond price, and the solid line is the stock price, okay, of the bond issuer. In this graph, provide they separate or classify into four regions, okay, four regions. On the region A, you see that the stock price is trading lower than the conversion price. In our case, it's $6. £6, right? £6. And if the share price trading lower than lower than the conversion price, okay, you see that actually, value of the option is still close to zero. So value of the convertible bond will not, relate to the stock price. The dashed line, okay. You see that dashed line just follow the market interest rate. Stock price, move, but the convertible bond does not move with the stock price. This is because the stock price still much lower than the conversion price or the exercise price. No chance at all that the convertible bond will be, has higher value because of the option, the call option on the stock. However, when the stock price tend to increase and exceed the conversion price or the exercise price, you see that the slope at the beginning may be not the same, right? The slope of the convertible bond and the stock price may not the same at first because it's still lower than the exercise price or the conversion price. But when it's increased, higher than the conversion price, then the convertible bond will behave like the stock price. For anyone who trade warrants, this is similar, right? Why warrant price would, move just like the stock price. But when the exercise price or the conversion price in warrants is much higher than the market, the current stock price, you see that warrant may not move at all. Same. This is a nature of the option in the convertible bond. Option on stock, okay, option on the stock. Right now we are talking about the nature of the convertible bond due to we have the option on the stock. Okay, when the stock price, move higher than the exercise price or conversion price, then convertible bond and the stock price would move together with the slope most likely close to 1. Okay, when the stock increase 10 baht, then or 10 pounds, the convertible bond may move in the same level. However, when the stock decrease and then close to the exercise price again, then value of the convertible bond may not move exactly the same as the stock price. However, the last region you see that when the stock quite trading much higher than the exercise price, they move together. You see that they are the parallel movement between the stock price and the convertible bond price. Okay, and this is because of the call on the stock. Okay, the call option on the stock. Any question on this? Last topic for this lecture. Wow, we took almost 1 hour. Okay, last topic. This is so far this topic we talk about, this tech lecture we talk about the callable bond, puttable bond, right? We have seen the graph, or maybe last lecture. We have seen the graph that, let me draw that graph again, sorry that My drawing skill very bad. I may mention about this. That's why I don't want to study in engineering field anymore because of my drawing skill is bad. I almost failed in the drawing subject when I was studying an engineer. I decided, okay, no more. So I switched from mechanical engineer to the other one, that I don't have to write the drawing. Sorry. This is bond price yield relationship, right? This is a bond price yield relationship, right? When the yield, it might be better you just look at the lecture, last lecture. When the yield increase, bond price decrease, right? For the option-free bond. However, and also when the yield decrease, bond price increase. Okay. However, for the callable bond, when the yield decrease, okay, lower than the coupon rate, the current coupon rate, that would increase the chance for the bondholder to redeem the bond. The bond issuer to redeem the bond. And the bond price for the callable bond may not follow the option-free bond price yield relationship, and this would convert to the call price. So when we try to come up or try to estimate the bond price sensitivity or bond price volatility, normally for the option-free bond, we can look at the duration to approximate the change of the bond price due to the change of the yield. However, normal duration, the modified duration may not be applicable for the bond with the embedded option, just like I mentioned here for the callable bond. It not follow, bond price yield relationship for the option-free bond. So in order to estimate the duration for the bond with the embedded option, we have to go back to use the approximate duration. Here is the formula that we have seen it before. This is the approximate duration formula. To come up with the approximate duration of the bond with the embedded option, we try to re-estimate value of the bond price, okay, when assuming that the yield decrease for some certain point, okay, x basis point. As we mentioned, right, when the yield decrease, bond price increase. But maybe by using the valuation model that we have discussed in this chapter, we may come up with value of the bond price that not follow the option-free bond. Okay, we come up with value of the bond price when the yield decrease. We re-estimate value of the bond price when the yield increase, and then divide by 2, multiply by the current bond price P0, and divide the change of the yield. Okay, and the duration approximate by this formula. Okay, for the bond with the embedded option, it will be called effective duration. Okay, effective duration or option adjusted duration. Okay, actually that formula is just a general formula, right? But when we apply the approximate duration for the callable bond or puttable bond, it will be called the effective duration. Okay, it will be called the effective duration. Formula is not, different from what we learned, but the difference is the bond that we are going to estimate duration is the bond with the embedded option. And because of this, so the standard convexity is not applicable for the callable bond, puttable bond anymore. Any question? Please. The unit of the duration. This is the duration. The duration. You can see that this is price, right? This is the duration unit would be dollars and dollars is also dollar cancel. So it would be per the duration, it would be the change per basis x basis point, right? Because you can see that this is dollar, so it's cancel. But the denominator you have the yield, the percentage here, the x basis point here. Okay, so it would be the value, the change per certain yield, per certain basis point per year or per se mile. Depends on the frequency of the bond, right? So from what we have discussed, right? Normally this dy would be assumed per year first. Per year, dy normally we will assume per year, right? What would be the change of the yield to maturity per annum, and then we will convert into the per period, depends on the coupon payment frequency, right? And then, so because of eventually we convert, then the duration would be per period. And then we have to convert back again if you want to come up with the annual duration. Remember. So this slide basically just try to differentiate or try to explain a bit more detail about the modified duration, difference between modified duration and the effective duration. For the modified duration, normally when you estimate modified duration by using the formula for the modified duration or use the approximate duration formula, we assume that the bond will be held until the maturity. So the expected cash flow do not change when the yield, we assume the change of the yield, right? But for the effective duration, when we apply the effective duration on the callable bond and puttable bond here, the expected cash flow may change because of the yield change. For example, when we assume the x basis point change, right, for the callable bond, the bond price may not be, we may not assume that we will get the expected cash flow until the maturity, but the bond may be redeemed by the bond issuer. So the expected cash flow would be some certain period of the coupon payment plus the call price. So maybe not the same as the modified duration, that we assume that the expected cash flow would be based on bond is pay the face value at maturity. That's all actually. We change the expected cash flow because of change of the yield may trigger the option on bond to be redeemed or to be sold back by the puttable the put option from the put option. Any question for this lecture? Okay, let's move on to the next one. This is quite new in Thailand, okay, because right now the secondary market of this is quite new, but I think we should know, okay, because the secondary market of the loan is still does not exist in Thailand, and actually this is quite important. Why? I'll talk about that later. Okay, first we start from this lecture. We start from the basic idea about the mortgage loan. We learned this in the pre-term. We learn a bit more in the first lecture of this course. This lecture, we will just give a quick review about the mortgage loan and move on to discuss the difference between the asset-backed security (ABS) and mortgage-backed security (MBS). And also we will discuss some specific type of the MBS, okay, later. First, let's talk about the mortgage loan, okay, mortgage loan. Some of you that work and then you want to buy the house, you may apply this kind of loan, right? Mortgage loan, okay? And either to estimate or calculate the money that you have to pay, we can use the time value of the money formula, okay? First, let's talk about the detail or the nature of this loan, mortgage loan, okay? This mortgage loan, as mentioned, is the loan provided by the financial institution for anyone that would like to borrow the money by using the illiquid asset, normally house, building, as a collateral, right? And then every month, borrower pay back the loan to the lender, the bank, okay? With this payment, normally it will be the same every month. We call annuity, right? Remember, right? For each month that we pay, part of the money we pay for the interest, the rest we pay for the principal. However, okay, this is a key for this lecture. There is some uncertainty when we price this kind of loan. This is called prepayment. As you may know that when you borrow the money from the bank to buy a house and then every month you pay some certain amount, the same amount every month, okay? However, you are allowed to pay more, right? Suppose that last year you get some bonus and then, okay, after traveling you still get some more money, okay? Just pay back the loan. More than the schedule, okay? More than the scheduled payment. This is called prepayment, okay? The prepayment is the amount of money that you may pay more than the scheduled payment, okay? For the mortgage loan, normally, as I mentioned, borrower must have some collateral for the bank. The bank will use this collateral when, in the case that borrower not be able to pay the loan anymore. So the bank or the lender will liquidate the asset, right? Liquidate the asset to pay the unpaid balance, right? To pay the unpaid balance. The issue is, we talk in the next slide that when the collateral house has been liquidated, the amount of the money obtained from selling house, suppose that it's not enough to pay the loan, the unpaid balance. How the bank do? Can the bank ask the borrower to pay for the residual, the rest, or the bank cannot do? What do you think? Suppose that you borrow 5 million baht, and then you pay every month. Current outstanding is 4 million. Eventually, unfortunately, you will not be able to pay back the loan anymore. Bank sell the house, pay back the loan. Suppose that the price, okay, selling price of this house is only 3 million, so one more shortfall. Can the bank ask from the borrower to pay this money 1 million? Yes or no? I have no idea. I mean, in Thailand, I'm not sure whether, because we talk about this, it's called recourse and non-recourse loan. Okay, we talk about this. If the bank cannot, it's called non-recourse. However, if the bank can do, it's called recourse. Okay, we'll talk about that later because I talked to the law guy, and she said that in Thailand the law not allowed to do that. However, the bank might provide some more conditions, more clauses in the contract that can do. But normally for the normal one, actually the bank cannot do. We'll talk about that later. Before we move on to that point, okay, this slide will talk about one indicator, okay, that for the Bank of Thailand, also the bank may consider when they want to lend the money to the borrower is called LTV, okay, loan to value ratio, okay. What is the LTV as indicated in the first bullet? Basically, it's the proportion, okay, of the money that we can borrow relative to the value of the house, okay, relative to the value of the house, the appraised value or the market value. Okay, so suppose that the LTV is 100%, it means that you borrow 100% from the bank. You don't pay any down payment at all. Okay, suppose the house price is 5 million. The LTV 100%, it means you borrow 5 million. However, if you borrow only 4 from the bank and then you pay 1 million, so in this case the LTV would be over 5 or 80%. 1 more million you pay yourself, this is called down payment, right? Everyone knows it. Okay, so the higher the LTV, it means bank lend more than the value of the collateral, right? If the value of LTV is greater than 100%, it means that the bank lend the money more than value of the house. Okay, and that may increase the chance that the borrower may not want to pay back the loan. And based on some historical data, if the LTV is greater than 125%. The problem for Thailand is we have a short history about the housing price, and we still haven't experienced the decrease of the housing price. Unlike in the US, in the subprime crisis, the housing price decreased significantly. The loan may be constant, but the housing price decreased. LTV eventually increased, right? Subprime crisis, one problem of the subprime crisis. Actually, there are so many reasons for the subprime crisis in the US. One reason is borrowers don't want to pay the home loan anymore because the housing price decreased. Housing price decreased, LTV increased. Why I want to pay the loan? Because value of the house is lower than value of the loan. So eventually, I just let the bank, get the house and, liquidate. Even though they may be able to pay back the loan. And this is called strategic default. Okay? Strategic default means borrower actually they can service the debt, however they don't want to do. They just let the bank liquidate the collateral. And of course, one reason is either to let the bank, liquidate the house. It would be applicable if the loan is non-recourse loan. Non-recourse loan. They don't care about after that because they don't have any effect of that because the bank cannot ask the borrower to pay for the rest. Any question?
Simple question. Just want to know what's about the recourse and not recourse.
Okay, actually I just mention a little, but we talk a bit more about this. As I mentioned, right, if I borrow, suppose I borrow 5 million, okay, and then eventually I cannot pay back the loan. The loan outstanding suppose is 5 million. Bank liquidate the house, sell the house, suppose that they get only 4 million. This 1 million shortfall, if the bank can ask the borrower to pay for this 1 million, pay more 1 million to the bank, this will be recourse loan. Borrower still responsible for the shortage, the shortfall here. But for the non-recourse loan, borrower not responsible for this 1 million. Bank have to, bear this risk for this shortfall 1 million. Okay. So this is depend on the legal environment in some country maybe have different, the legal condition for this one. Even in the U.S., different states also may have different, law for this loan too. Okay, so you have to read the contract carefully. Okay, you have to read the contract carefully. I assume that, for Thailand, when the bank lend you about 100%, normally they may have some, additional statement that force the borrower to pay for the shortfall. Okay, let's talk about the detail of this mortgage loan. As you may know, if you buy a house and pay the loan, the mortgage loan, normally this mortgage loan can have the fixed rate for some certain period, right? But in other countries, you can have the fixed rate for 30 years, but in Thailand, it's not the case, right? You may get the fixed rate maybe only 3 years or 4 years at most, and then after 4 or 5 years, you have to pay the floating rate or adjustable rate, right? Term of the loan in Thailand, 25, 30, 35, the maximum. 40, I'm not sure whether any bank provide the term loan higher than 30 years or 35 years. It also depends on the age of the borrower too, right? If you borrow at the age of 25, it depends on when will you retire. Normally in Thailand it's 60, so if you borrow at 25, so the term loan can be up to 35 years when you retire. In other countries, okay, they may have the term loan, the loan term longer than this. Okay, for in the European country, okay, maybe up to 40 years. The highest one, can you guess? Japan. The term can be up to 100 years. I don't know the reason. Okay, the prepayment and prepayment penalty. Okay. In Thailand right now, some banks allow you to fully pay within the 3 years, but some banks you may not be allowed to do that, right? And you may have to pay the extra fee, penalty fee. Suppose you borrow 5 million and then you fully pay within 3 years, you may have to pay the extra cost, the extra fee, 1%, 2% of the loan amount, original loan amount. So this is the penalty, prepayment penalty. Recourse, non-recourse, I already mentioned about this. Okay, recourse and non-recourse. We have talked about this, right? Normally it's a fully amortized. What does it mean? You pay the same amount every month, okay? But you still allowed to pay the prepayment, the extra payment. If there is no extra payment, as if the interest rate is fixed for the whole period, okay? At the maturity, the last payment, the loan outstanding would be 0, right? It would be 0 if everything is fixed, interest rate is certain, then for the last payment, your outstanding balance would be 0. To estimate about the interest and the principal, this is very simple, right? You borrow, and then every month we calculate the interest, and then the rest we pay the principal. For this example, we just approximate one because in the reality, bank would account, we will estimate the interest based on the actual number of days from the last payment to the next payment. Suppose in my case, I have to pay the loan on the last working day of the month. So we have to, the bank will check, okay, last working day, what is the last working day that I pay the loan? And then the next last working day of the month, how many days in that month, and then calculate the interest. But this is for the approximate number. We assume that each month have the same, okay, number of days. So the interest can be simply divide by 12, okay, to get the interest per month, the interest rate per month. We have seen this in the first lecture already, right? Suppose in this case, you borrow 200,000 US dollar, okay? You borrow 200,000 US dollar from the bank. How much you have to pay per month? If the interest rate is fixed for the next 30 years, the loan term is 30 years or 360 months. 7.5% is fixed for the next 30 years. So the monthly payment is come from the formula. You can use the formula in this slide or use the one that okay. The present value of the annuity is equal to the PMT divided by I1 minus 1 over 1 plus I a to the power of 10. So the present value right now is 200,000 equal to the PMT unknown variable divided by I 7.5% divided by 12, 1 minus 1, 7.5% divided by 12, a to the power of 360. PV equal to PMT over I per month. Okay, 7.5% per year divided by 12 to get the interest rate per month. Multiply by 1 minus 1 over 1 plus I, 7.5% over 12. Okay, take the power of 360 because you pay every month. You have n equal to 360. You should get PMT equal to this number 1398.43. Okay. So next month of your payment, once you borrow 200,000, then next month you pay the first payment, right? So the interest for this month would be the beginning balance, right? The beginning balance, the loan balance, 200,000 multiplied by 7.5% divided by 12. So for month 1, you pay the interest equal to this 1,250. You pay this amount. So the rest pay as the principal. This is you pay this amount, subtract with the interest. The rest pay the principal, right? So at the end of month 1, the principal is not equal to 200,000. The principal would be this amount. Okay? The principal at the end of month 1 would be 200,000 subtract with this principal repayment for month 1. So at the end of month 1 or the beginning of month 2, your loan outstanding would be this amount. Okay, the difference between the beginning minus the principal repayment. And do the same for second month. Okay, however, the interest for month 2 will be slightly lower than month 1. Month 1 the interest is 1250. Month 2 1249.007. So the principal payment would be slightly higher than month 1. Okay, and then at the end of month 2 the principal would be the beginning, subtract with this, you get the principal at the end of month 2. The loan outstanding for at the end of month 2. And move on like this. What about, you may have been asked, right, when you choose the preterm cost, what would be the loan outstanding when you pay for 10 years? Actually, we don't need this formula, but you can also use this formula to answer this question. The mortgage balance or the loan outstanding at any time t would be equal to the initial loan outstanding MB0 multiplied by this term. The first formula, basically you want to know the loan payment for per month NP, basically is PMT equal to the PV or MB0. Okay, the original mortgage balance or the present value of the loan. Okay, so the first equation, the first formula, you can estimate the PMT, the monthly payment. Second formula, you can estimate the loan outstanding at any time t, at any month t, equal to the beginning, the original loan outstanding. Okay, in our case, 200,000 multiplied by this term. N is the number of period for this loan, okay, 360. And T is the time that we want to estimate the loan outstanding. The unit is month, okay, the unit is month because we pay monthly. And SP is the principal repayment for month T. Okay, SP is the principal repayment for month T. Is equal to the original, okay, mortgage balance and multiplied by this. If you still remember, actually, when I taught about this, I don't have any extra formula, the second and the third formula. I just need only the first one. Okay, but it's up to you. You can use the second and third one to calculate the loan balance and any monthly and also amount that you pay for that month, the principal payment for that month. Okay, any question on this? Let's take a break. We come back to talk about